A week is a long time in football. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have 2 games to save his Manchester United job, despite ending the winning run of the all-conquering Liverpool team after that 1-1 draw? Shaka, they've got Partizan in the Europa League away. They've then got Norwich away before a game against Chelsea. If they don't get the results in the next 2, do you really think he's on the block?
I don't know. I think Manchester United are going to stick with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer until some other name pops in. And let's be honest, I thought if they were going to pull the trigger, they would have done it by now. But given that they've stuck with him thus far, I think they continue to do so until it makes sense or the timing is a little bit better. Listen, I also understand that Allegri is still there, but the fact that there's been no real speculation about him leads me to believe that maybe they see a better option somewhere else down the line. I'm not absolutely certain, but I don't think we're going to see the back of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer before January.
But you're also not convinced that they are convinced to stick with him for the long term, despite maybe seeing those signs from the Liverpool game. There's no chance in your mind that they would see that and say, you know what, maybe we're going to give this guy the whole season. Maybe we believe in his plans.
Nothing I've seen from Manchester United on the field suggests that they're moving in the right direction, despite what they continually try to say or can try to sell either us or their fan base. Nothing makes a whole lot of sense. But at the same time, they seem that they kind of have their mind made up about Ole, that they're going to stick with him certainly for the time being. So I kind of feel that that's the way they're going to go. That, listen, it doesn't make sense to me. And left up to me, again, as I say, nothing has happened over the course of this season in particular to suggest that, yeah, this is worth hanging on to and just seeing if we're able to turn a corner. But everything you hear from them suggests that that's their thinking, certainly as far as Ole goes.
Do you think there's also an indication that they see him, because he's a former hero of the team, it's got a little bit of credit with the fans, right? So maybe they're just waiting for the fans to turn. If the fans turn, they'll make their decision. If the fans don't turn, they'll just continue down this road. It doesn't seem like there's much planning going on.
Listen, that makes as much sense as anything. And I agree with you, because it's hard to figure out their thinking on this. It's hard to figure out. Now, listen, at the time when he was hired, and we had a lot of discussion around it, many thought it wasn't the right decision. I was a little bit impartial about it. I thought it made sense given the results we'd seen. I also felt that if things had turned, it would be a cheap option. It wouldn't be difficult or expensive to get rid of Solskjaer and move in another direction. It's not a Mourinho situation where it's going to cost you in the tens of millions to fire him mid-contract. Solskjaer had no real options in terms of managing, and they could have made that exit clause whatever they wanted. We pay £1 million and you walk, and he would have signed it. So the fact that they've kind of stuck with him this long leads me to believe that, again, I don't think it's an expensive change to make. So I'm not sure why they're holding on as they are. It says to me that they see this more as a long-term situation, and that's how they're going to run their club. That results and knee-jerk reactions aren't what they do, and it's not what is going to motivate them. So they seem to stick with it. Again, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but this seems to be their thinking, or the best I can make of their thinking.
Yeah, it does seem to be sort of a marriage of convenience in which both parties are happy. He understands the situation.
Yeah.
The club are very happy to just not outlay finances at this point. They haven't suffered commercially overly because of the decisions and the poor results?
Right now, but that's also in danger. I think the longer you stay outside the top 4, the longer or the further you fall behind the likes of Liverpool and Manchester City, just domestically, the more your brand is damaged and the more difficult that commercial success becomes. Maybe Manchester United are just thinking that there's going to be a huge managerial go-round next summer. That, given the struggles of Spurs with Pochettino and Zidane at Real Madrid or whoever else it may be, that there's going to be a whole lot of movement, and then you'll be in a position to go for who you really want as your long-term fix, as opposed to get somebody, whoever's now, I mentioned Allegri, maybe they think, again, maybe they're just thinking, let's wait to see who becomes available and then make a better decision then. Right now, I'm just speculating.
Okay, so keeping the powder dry for now. We don't think he's under serious threat in the next couple of games. We'll see what the future holds, short-term and long-term, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the wheel at United.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.